Welcome to the history of Fortnite Easter eggs. It's time we walk down memory lane and look through the years of Fortnite. So to start off the list of Easter eggs from 2017, we have one of the most iconic Easter eggs in Fortnite's history. Let me introduce you to Truckosaurus, a statue that has been on the Chapter 1 island for a long time, and you can even find him in the waters of the Chapter 2 island to this day. And 2017 was also the year that brought us the iconic default dance. While the dance itself is a meme, it's actually an Easter egg based on the famous Poison dance from Scrubs. The actor later complained about Epic apparently stealing the dance during a festival, but nothing ever came of it. And for an extremely rare Easter egg that's still around to this day, we have the secret gnome in the wall. No one knows the actual odds of this happening, as some say it's 1 in 100, 1 in 5,000, or even 1 in a million. Regardless, you basically have a super small chance of getting a gnome stuck inside of your brick walls. It still happens in Chapter 2 and it's been around for years, so look out every time you place a brick wall, you might just see a gnome. And speaking of things you can still find today, there are a ton of poster Easter eggs littered around the map that originated in 2017. These include references to Epic's older games such as Unreal Tournament and Infinity Blade. Yeah, that Infinity Blade. You can still find these over at Raven's house on the map right now, although not all Easter eggs survive for long. Back in Season 1, the television sets around the island were actually able to be interacted with. If you did so, they would shake and a weird alien would be shown dancing on the screen. This was actually from Save the World and was an alien that stole Blue Go from people in the mode. And to finish off the Season 1 Easter eggs, there was a truck over on the edge of the island hanging for its life. Importantly, on the truck, there was a chest, but it was super risky to loot. This was a reference to the Italian Job, where at the end of the film, the robbers have to choose whether to get their gold from their hanging bus and risk their lives, or get out safely. But the Easter eggs get, well, more interesting and exciting as Fortnite moves to... With 2018 came the rise of leakers and data mining, and they have been essential to the game ever since. Even Epic noticed that people were going through the game's files, so they actually left a hidden message in them for all of us to enjoy. If you aimed at the Season 3 meteor in the sky, then it would play a sound. And if you went to the files and opened the sound as a spectrograph, it would show this, a classic prank from Epic. And as Epic jokes evolved, so did its on-the-nose parodies. In Season 3 and 4, we got a handful of skins that were blatant references to pop culture. Leviathan is based on Minion from Megamind, while some other skins actually became real in the future. Rustlord was based on Star-Lord, who is now an actual crossover skin, and the Reaper was based on, well, obviously John Wick, who we can also now play as. Pretty cool to see how Fortnite has progressed, but we also now have raptors in Fortnite, and it's been a long time coming if you look back to this old Season 4 loading screen. This was an awesome parody of the famous raptor scene from obviously Jurassic Park. And the Easter eggs continue with Season 4 even making their way into the emote scene. If you've seen the Groove Jam emote, you'll probably recognize it as belonging to the dance from Napoleon Dynamite. And moving to Season 5, Fortnite decided to continue with its small gags on the island. It acknowledged its own community with one of the coolest Easter eggs to date, the Muselk gravestone. For one of Fortnite's most popular clips, Muselk attempted to save a player named Choppadoodle from being stranded in the desert biome of Chapter 1. Although his rescue attempt, it kind of failed miserably when he hit Choppadoodle off the map with a golf cart. In the same spot, Epic added a tombstone and bouncy tires to commemorate the clip. It was an awesome little Easter egg. Although not all Easter eggs are joyful, because Season 5 also included a Pennywise Easter egg. All around the map above drains, Epic added red balloons to hint at an upcoming It crossover, but unfortunately, it was cancelled at the last minute. And that's where we advance to the more complex Easter eggs during... 2019 was when Epic really started embracing the Easter eggs, and we had some awesome references that people loved. It began with Season 6 and 7, which included one of the most hated weapons in history, the Infinity Blade. And while it sucked, it was mostly a nod to Epic's old game, Infinity Blade. Yeah, not so hidden of an Easter egg. Although throughout Season 7, there were definitely more secret ones. With the Getaway LTM, the loading screen showed all 4 versions of the skin walking down the road. And while this is actually a nod to A Clockwork Orange, a very rated R movie. But for a less intense movie, there's an even better reference over on Season 7's plane glider, and underneath it, it has, "My name Dave," written on it. Oh man, that was a really cringe impersonation, but play the actual clip, okay?
When he talking.
My name is Jeff.
The movie references didn't stop there though, as the golf clap emote was an awesome reference to a film named Men at Work. The emotes, of course, continue, with Krabby being the Crab Rave, Work It being from a sports dance battle, and Extraterrestrial coming from Howard the Alien. But as Fortnite moved to Season 9, more Easter eggs came with it. Over at Mega Mall, a store named Scoops Ahoy was included, and fans of Stranger Things, of course, recognize this from the show. In the trailer for the season itself, a blimp could be seen saying, "The future is yours," and this was obviously a direct parody of Scarface, which says, "The world is yours." And then the futuristic theme eventually led us to Season X, and then Chapter 2. In Chapter 2 Season 1, we received one of the most popular Easter eggs that's still in the game to this day. Over at Steamy Stacks, Epic added a pink donut over on one of the control panels. Everyone knows that this is an awesome reference to Homer Simpson, who eats donuts while working at the Springfield power plant. And that led us to the next year. While it might not have been the best year for us, it was a great year for Easter eggs, and of course I'm talking about As Chapter 2 Season 1 continued into the new year, more Easter eggs appeared on the map. Over at Weeping Woods, you were now able to spot a Triceratops playground toy, which is a direct reference to a dinosaur from Save the World's PvP mode in 2015. Not many people would have spotted that one, and neither would they have noticed the Easter egg over at the West Clifftop house. A red car was found at the start of the season on a jack stand, and with updates throughout Season 1, people noticed that this car went straight through the window and off of the cliff. Of course, this was actually a scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where Cameron kicks the Ferrari straight through the window out of the house. Then, as Chapter 2 Season 2 rolled around, so did new POIs, and while most of those places are gone today, one still remains: the shark. Ironically, the shark itself is the Easter egg though, and if you're wondering why, it's because the entire POI is actually from another one of Epic's games. During Season 2, they released a mobile game named Spyjinx, and this included a tropical island with a stone shark mansion on it. Look a little familiar? Season 2 also included some insane foreshadowing, as Midas's yacht POI, before it was taken over by Deadpool, was actually named Marigold. Over 3 seasons later, Marigold, the female Midas, came to the item shop. Kinda crazy looking at it. As Season 3 launched, Epic added a new Easter egg to Steamy Stacks. Hidden all the way in a secret basement, you could find part of the algorithm from Tenet, paired with this really ominous music. Nothing ever came of this, but we did have a rift that teased us about Thor's arrival on the island. This was in the Captain America trailer, and oh boy, we had no idea what to expect. Of course, he came in Season 4, and so did many other Easter eggs to do with Marvel. For example, Thor's hammer pickaxe is actually locked just to his skin, much like the other Marvel items from that season. However, the wording specifically says that it's locked to anyone who could wield the hammer. And of course, that includes Captain America, as we learned in Avengers Endgame. Because of this, Epic actually lets you use the pickaxe with the cap skin. It's pretty awesome. They also brought in a new starter island in the form of the helicarrier, and this was actually a one-to-one recreation of the helicarrier from the films, which obviously had to include an eye patch Easter egg referencing Nick Fury. But away from Marvel and into one of the most storyline-filled seasons to date, we headed full speed into With Chapter 2 Season 5, we got a terrifying amount of crossovers back to back, and one of them included the Mandalorian inside the Battle Pass. With his arrival, Mando immediately took to work on a specific bounty. Over at Hunter's Haven, you could find this guy frozen in carbonite. We also received a new variant for codename Elf, and while it looked awesome at first glance, it was even cooler knowing that it was based on a stop-motion movie called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The Star Wars Easter eggs continued too, as Mando's POI dropped late into the season. In the back room of this place, you could find a weird-looking instrument that you could even interact with. And if you press the button on it, it would play the Cantina music from Star Wars. It was seriously cool. And while the Marigold yacht name wasn't even foreshadowing, Epic put the icing on the cake with a secret Battle Pass loading screen that literally showed a female Midas in it. We eventually got her at the end of the season. And then we got to the present day. Here we are in Chapter 2 Season 6, where the Battle Pass has some awesome secrets. Lara Croft has a special variant where she is completely gold. And while this may seem pretty random and a lot of other skins have gold variants, it's actually a really cool Easter egg and a nod to the first ever Tomb Raider game. In that game, there's a level where you can find the statue of King Midas, and you could actually use his hand to turn items into gold. Well, in the game, if you tread too far and step on the hand, Lara Croft turns entirely into gold herself, and this is an awesome skin version of that. It's even better when you pair the fact that Midas is also in Fortnite. And for the final notable Easter egg, we have the Foundation's own design. If you thought his shoulder vent was kinda weird, it's because it's actually based on his voice actor, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's not confirmed that The Rock voices him, but it's extremely likely at this point. His design is based on The Rock's famous shoulder tattoo, and a side-by-side comparison shows an eerie similarity. And that's the entire history of Fortnite's most popular Easter eggs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see another history of Fortnite, something glitches maybe, let me know down in the comments below. But this has been Tommy, thanks so much for watching, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.